that goes for our class too. Each one of us has a job we're doing together. Each one of us is dependent on the other. I am not a very almighty king in our class. Even though I control the grade, you control my pay, or you control my evaluation. So we do work together. Human resource planning not only manages that, you seek people to work with, you should be able to evaluate your own skills and the skills of your classmates and other workers around you. But I'm also going to be introducing you to some of the world's top quality talent as executives and professors, but you may get upset at some of your classmates. You will get upset at some people you have to work with. But it's your job to learn about HR and learn how to reduce that tension, how to solve that, how to reduce turnover. And so putting you in groups gives you the opportunity in class to work with good students and bad students. The best student should not only try to surround themselves with very good top students, but maybe the very best students should also try to get maybe the worst student in class and practice managing them. Try to find out how you can work together to reduce problems and improve your communication skills. So we've already gone through this next slide talking about hire the right people. I encourage you all semester long to come back and talk about this. Why it's very valuable, why it could be wrong, what is he explicitly saying? Like this is talking, the textbook is talking about the importance of a mission statement, but this article is saying, even this textbook is wrong because he doesn't care about mission statements. But I'm telling you as a professor that yes, mission statements are a good point, but they could be wrong. And this guy is world famous, but he is also wrong because it's not going to work very well in Korea. Walmart is one of the world's biggest companies. They came into Korea, but they went bankrupt here. They failed because they did not hire the right people to work within their Walmart in Korea. They tried to have Americans managing in an American management fashion amongst Korean valued people, and it did not work. They went bankrupt here. So you need to argue with this too. Next, the idea of linking human resource planning to your business strategy. Well, you should realize our university is a business, and our class can be considered like a business. You are usually paying something or a tuition to join. You're supposed to be getting some results. I am working for you. So our strategy should be linked. Be familiar with what is the business strategy. My job is to make sure not only do you know the theories and know what is the world's best research, but also know what works in the real world. And I'm introducing you to the world's best professors and executives to do that. But if some of you hate Samsung, and maybe Marissa, I hope you don't mind me using you as an example, but maybe Marissa hates Denmark and you don't want to hear from a Danish professor, that's fine. You can propose some other strategy. So be familiar with whatever we're focused on and deal with that. You can make modifications. So what is our strategy? What is the strategy linked to human resource planning? Human resource managers, we are consultants, and we're consulting almost everybody in the organization, everybody in the company, everybody in the university, everybody in the class. I'm not saying I'm the world's best, but I am saying that I know a lot of research and I know quite a bit of the experience. Julian and Ali are teaching teams also. They have a lot of experience to share with you. So we are consultants to you. We are not kings, but you should feel as an international member that we are equal and you can share with us. Some of the main things human resource managers do is mentor others around you, coach others around you, counsel others around you, including yourself. So you have to start by being concerned with people management, and that includes you. So who are you? Most people don't know who you are yourself. And our big activity today will talk about that. Um, I will show you a quick flash of what it is. This is a website. Hopefully everybody can see it. It's just do a Google search for humanmetrics.com. humanmetrics.com. And this will help identify who are you? What is your culture? What is your personality? What skills do you have? What type of entrepreneurial capabilities do you have? What type of risks do you like to take or do you like to avoid? Are you a visionary or a pragmatist? How assertive are you? What type of uncertainty avoidance do you have? So there's many things, including what kind of dating should you do and what type of relationships can you have, not just with social and sexual relationships, but with work, and how to manage the relationship with your boss or other teammates. So this will go through, and we'll talk more about it a little bit later, but it's showing this. Ultimately, we're going to have a little bit of time today to go through and identify skills and managing other people, but I want you to identify your personality type, and there's 16 different types proposed by Carl Jung many years ago, and it could be changed now. But of these types, I am one type, but I also overlap with another type. You will take this next page quiz. It's generally a few short questions asking, what are you like? You are almost never late for an appointment? Yes, no. You like to be engaged in active and fast-paced jobs? Yes, no. So you go through that, you answer quickly, and it will tell you what type you are. What are your skills? And then identify what are the skills of other people around you. So again, the consultants are consulting, HR people are consultants, consulting the line managers and the CEOs and the executives and any staff in an organization. But the other people getting the HR help, they have the responsibility to respond to the business implications of human resource objectives and strategies. So it's not just the HR management's responsibility, it's everybody in class, everybody in the university, everybody in the organization, everybody in the company. They're required to learn how to work with the other human resources surrounding you. And so I want you to think about why HR managers are consultants to these managers. We can start trying to set up a class group. Julian, would you like to set the class up into groups now, or would you like to wait until we talk about a few slides later? We have the skills here. This skills slide actually demands you go into Jung typology test. But before we get into the skills inventory, we can start briefly for a little while. Julian, are you ready to divide the class into groups? Or should we do that later?
I could try, but it will take some time. So okay, I will make it in groups of 3, and we will ask them to discuss together in just a few minutes. Okay.
So,
but not right now, not in.
Okay, so soon we are going to have Zoom automatically assign you to a group. It's not just your team members, because you need to practice working with other people. So Zoom is going to select you to join groups, and you need to start thinking about how you can present yourself so that other people will see you as a leader or see you as valuable and want to partner with you. We can go back, and I'll continue to get into that. So start thinking about why you should be consulting other people and how you should consult other people. What that means is how you introduce yourself when you get into a new group of people. Today, it's just practice. It's not very important except for class. You should be trying to impress your classmates with who you are. Don't be a dictator. Don't force other people to do things that make them uncomfortable, but impress upon them you have certain skills. Use this because 5 p.m. September 10, we will be introducing you to world quality professors, world quality executives, and you have a chance to impress them, and they may help you get a good job. They can give you an internship, but they can also mentor you throughout the semester. If there's 50 to 100 students, they may not be able to effectively talk with each and every one of you in detail. They may only pick the first few people that impress them. So start talking about how you can introduce yourself. Time frame of HR planning. So organizational plans are classified as 0 to 2 years, like as in today, in week 1 of class, week 2 of class. Most students don't like to have immediate pressure. So I didn't tell students, you have to do it in week 1, in the first day. But I did say, do it as soon as possible. The deadline or the due date is week 3 or before week 3. So you should know that the sooner you introduce yourself, the sooner you start managing human resources, the better. And so short range is 0 to 2 years. Then 2 to 5 years, intermediate. Beyond 5 years is long range. I also want to make sure you realize human resource planning is not just about identifying skills of people. It's not just about identifying your skills and skills of somebody else in your organization. It's about the plans or the goals. You should know what your goals are today and for 2 years, or longer intermediate range goals 2 to 5 years later, and beyond 5 years, like 10-year goals, 20-year goals. What are your long-term goals? You must know that for the company also, because you will have best results if you align your goals and plans with the goals and plans of other people to be mutually beneficial. If you don't know your goals, like many students in Korea, they don't know what they really want to do in the future. So make sure you think about your skills, your abilities, you promote your skills and abilities as a consultant or an HR executive. You understand what are the skills of other people. So don't just talk about what color is their dog's hair. Try to find out what skills the other team member has and what are their plans, what are their goals. HR and HR planning. Obviously, as I showed you with Maslow's hierarchy of needs and motivating people, Maslow was like a genius, but he's wrong. And Carlos Brito, which is a genius CEO of InBev and Anheuser-Busch, he is a genius, but he's also wrong. So all of this HR and HR planning, it is an evolving process. I want you to show what other people say. What is the best research saying? What are the best companies and organizations saying? What are they doing? But I also really, really, really want you to show me how they could change and maybe do it better, how they could evolve into a better stage. So stage 1 is companies have no plans and they do almost nothing. That's like a lot of students. They just go to school because their mom says go to school. Well, you must have a plan. So stage 2, you start to have a long-term business plan, but you don't really follow your skills and the skills of other people. You just do whatever is around you. You do the classwork based on whatever student is sitting beside you. You're not focused on what are their skills. How many of you have started to partner with somebody, not because they are a friend, but because of their skills and abilities? I hope every one of the students will consider skills and abilities of your classmates before we get stuck into certain projects. Stage 3, the companies and schools or universities, classes, we engage in some aspects of human resource planning. And these efforts, they're not just integrated into long-range plans, but they are part of your culture. You should be having this in a long-range plan, but so far they have planning, but they're not doing it long-range. You should think about what your goals are long-range and how the other person can help. So stage 4, companies, universities, classes, you do a good deal of human resource planning, and the top people are enthusiastic about the process. But even better, you should treat human resource planning as an important and vital part of the long-term business planning for you and the class, or and the university, or and the organization and the company. How many of you are actually doing this now? Probably none of you. But so please start. Please let this teaching team help you start working like this, identifying who are you, what are your skills and abilities, what are your plans, what are your dreams and goals, and then what are the dreams and goals of other people around you. Don't forget, the chance of meeting famous people like top executives does not come along easily. You will get a chance September 10th. Don't let this opportunity pass by. It may be a long time before you get another opportunity like this. So the steps in human resource planning. Determine the impact of
Professor,
the
one moment, please.
Okay.
Excuse me. So
Yes.
at the moment, somehow we lost your screen, so we can only hear you. So probably the students should watch their PowerPoint as well. On a second idea, we prepared some 5 rooms, breakout rooms. So if you want to propose some activity, we can test it for 5 minutes.
Okay, sorry, I will go back to sharing the screen. Hopefully that's a little bit better. By the way, everybody should know that our PPT that we're following, you should be able to follow it on your own. It's in week 2, September 7 and September 9. We are talking about this PPT, HRM chapter 5. And I've just opened that here. So Julian, how much more time do we have before we must break students into groups so we have sufficient time?
We can do it right now if you want.
Great.
We can make a test for 5 minutes.
Great. So please take over and try to divide students into groups. So
the point is, dear students, that we can divide you in a group, so you could chat between yourselves for deciding on a specific issue. So if we have activities where you have to give with some comment, but after discussing in a smaller group, we can divide you in groups and you will have a special Zoom session for yourself. Okay. So anytime, Professor, I can initiate this.
Please initiate it now. I don't see anybody's hands up. I don't see anybody offering to do it yet. So we are going to push them and make them be proactive. So okay. Go ahead and.
I'm opening the rooms for 5 minutes.
Thanks. Everybody should now be able to see the groups.
Yes, you should.
Julian, I am in a group now. Great, there's 3 people. Hamin Park, Heijin Jun, and Hyonak Do, and Heyoung Chang. Thank you for participating with me. This group is not for me, it's for you. So I want to hear you start. Okay, our group is not working very well. You guys must be able to start speaking.
So I think we have to move Professor to the group number 1. I will join.
No, don't move me yet. I want to make sure that these students are actually starting to talk. So far, they're not talking. I'm waiting to listen to the groups. So, Agent John, can you make a comment? Julian and Ali, please go to a different group. Can you guys join another group and make sure that other people are working? At least the hosts, the co-hosts should be able to rotate between groups. Agent John, are you in class today or are you not here? What about Hyonak Do? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I am trying to listen. I'm seeing a group here. Can you guys in this group hear me? I see Felix is part of the group and Laddie's part of the group.
We've just
Yeah, I
been
can hear you.
all returned to the main group, the main page.
So you're back in the main group. So this is the whole class all together again?
Yes, yes, yes. So we only had 5 minutes for this chit chat.
Okay. I would like to ask everybody in the class to realize that the class is an opportunity to start developing your skills, managing yourself and managing others. How many people were able to introduce themselves in their group?
Our group team.
In my group, everyone introduced yourself, for example.
So Ozdebek Enarov is your group. Could you tell me about what one of your teammates said? Describe one of your teammates, one of your group mates.
Okay. Kim Su introduced yourself, and he said that I can call him Owen because he feels comfortable with them, and he's third grade student. Then Rajabek Muslimov introduced yourself, and he's second grade student in university. Then who was the last one? Was it's difficult to me to read his name, and she said that I can call him I can call her Bam. Sorry. And she feels comfortable with calling that way.
Okay. So can you repeat who were the teammates in your group?
Rajabek Muslimov and Kim Su.
Kim Konsu.
Kim
Okay.
Su.
Yeah.
And
her name is difficult to read. I think
I'm taking notes.
Fontita Weye Sung.
Sorry, could you say that again?
Fotiha Weya Song.
Oh my gosh.
She said I can call her Bam. It's comfortable.
Bum. Okay. But I don't know if I can give attendance points if I only know a nickname. Okay, and what was your name again?
My name is Anor Fozutbek.
Great.
Professor, her name was the Fonita Waison.
Fonita Weisung.
Okay, guys, so this is so fun and interesting. When we travel or when we work in a big company with international colleagues, and it's so funny that you end up in some meeting and you are not able to spell the name of your colleague. So
Welcome to the real world. That is normal.
yes. So
thank you, Mr. Anarov. Because you were first, we will give points for your team. But can anybody else in the class identify anybody's skills or their plans or their goals that would identify if they're good to be in a group or not?
Not
Anybody
yet,
else?
but
that first group. I'm looking for people outside that group.
Professor,
Yes?
I'm Kyunggon Jung, and
Okay.
we had actually talked about our skills. So,
Yes.
My question right now is, what did you identify in Mr. Anarov's group? What did you identify about their skills or their plans or their abilities or their long-term goals? Because that's ultimately what you want to identify a good team member. Just knowing their name or their face might not show you their value. So do you know any skills or abilities of the people in Mr. Anarov's groups?
I thought that we should introduce ourselves only.
No, now, I already gave you points, and I love that you started talking. I'm trying to help teach everybody in the class, including your group, that chit chat is really important. How you communicate with others is really important. Just being polite and social, it's nice, but you also must follow the plans of the organization. And so identify what is the strategy or what are the skills that you need. So, Kyung Gun Jung, Mr. Jung, you started the talk. You are not
Yes.
in that group. Do you
Yes.
know the skills or plans or any details about those first team members?
Not about the first team, but I wanted to talk about my team, my groups.
Okay.
So yeah, like there were 4 people there, and there was I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry if I'm mistaken. Jakovir. Jakovir had like some writing skills when he's working with team projects, and Juyong Lee had like great PPT skills that he can make PPTs beautiful and he can organize well. And my skill was the research and talking part, that speaking part. So that was what we were discussing. But the plans, we wanted to talk about the plans, but time was running out, so we had no much time for the plans. But we just talk about our skills, and we introduce ourselves.
So, Mr. Jung, you say you have good research skills. Well, you definitely, I agree, have very good talking skills. I hope everybody in class learns from you. Can somebody else tell me how many group members were in Mr. Jung's group? Somebody outside of Mr. Anarov's group and outside of Mr. Kyunggon Jung's group, somebody else tell me how many group members were in Mr. Jung's group?
Well, there was 4.
Who's talking? Put your hand up so we can assign points to you. Use the icon. Yeah, okay, so Ladi Lachi, you were first. Ladi Lachi, can you go ahead and answer the question?
Yes, he has 4 people.
Good. So he has 4 people in the group. Did you appreciate that Mr. Anarov, he was first to start talking? He must have a very low uncertainty avoidance, means he's willing to try new things quickly. So that is one of his skills, but he didn't describe any other skills. Did you just say, Ladi Lachi, that Kyunggon Jung had 4 people in his group?
Yes,
Can you name those 4 people? Because I only wrote down 3 people.
I know just him because I heard that the time is so like it's not enough time to explain the group goal.
So guys, it was 4 people or 5 people because it was 1 people talking about 4 colleagues. So the group was of 5. Am I right?
Can we hear from you? What about Jakovir? Jakovir, can you tell me how many people were in your group?
Professor, I'm in that group.
Yes. I know.
We were 4 people.
And I have you were part of the group. Kyunggon Jung was part of your group. Juyong
Yes.
Lee was part of your group, but I didn't hear the 4th person. Who is the 4th person in your group?
Her name
Me.
is
Angwala.
I don't know who's talking right now. Can you put your hand up? Okay, Angrawa Suksana, great. Can you tell us a little bit more about your skills? Angrawa?
I want to open the business.
So you want to also do this, okay?
Again, please.
So your skills are what? How can you contribute to a team project? How can you contribute to a research project, a weekly project? What will you want the Samsung executives to know about you?
I'm good PPT slide. Just make.
Good at PPT.
Yes, I can do it.
And you're probably entrepreneurial. You want to open your own company, so you're entrepreneurial, you'd like to try new things, and you're good with the PPT. Great, those are good examples. Now, thank you for that. I know that you all ran out of time. Life is short. Ladi Lichi, Lada Lachi, if I said it correctly, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Lada, you were starting to comment about Angrawa's team, 4 people. So you were right. Do you have any comments? Can you evaluate how many points should we give to Anarov's team, and how many points should I give to Angrawa or Kyunggon Jung's team? Lada, can you be the boss now and decide how many points should I give them? 1 point, 1.5 points, 2 points, half a point. Each week you get 1 point just to contribute, and you get 1 point just to show up and ask questions. I could give you half, 1, 1.5, or 2 points. How many points do you think I should give Team 1 and Team 2? Lada, what do you think?
Yes, I appreciate that both groups try to tell us what they are talking about, even if the time is less, but they try to understand each other. So I think they should got 5 points.
So I was saying that the groups can get 1 point just for showing up and talking each week. And if they contribute to the weekly topic, they might be able to get 1 more point. But you are saying I should give them
1 more
5
point.
points? Maybe. I'm not saying no, but if you have other support, maybe the teaching team will give them 5 points. I am flexible if you can negotiate well. So everybody in Anarov's team and everybody in Kyunggon Jung's team, you should pray that Lara is very good at negotiating because she may give you 5 points. Lara, should I give them 1 point or half a point or 1.5 or 2 points? That's normal.
2 points.
Or is there any reason I should give them more? We're going to be running out of time. Anybody else in Lada's team? Who is in Lada's team? Can you guys help determine the grading? First, the people in Lada's team must introduce your team members, and after you introduce the skills of your team members, then tell me how many points to give Anarov's team and Mr. Jung's team. Any team members, any group members from Lada Lachi's team this morning, right now, speak up. It's your turn to start talking.
Yes, Professor. This is Mingso.
I don't hear an answer to my request. Felix, I
First,
see your
talking
hand.
about our members.
Mr. Kim is also talking, so I let maybe Mr. Kim talk. She was also in the team.
Sorry, Felix, you were in Lada's team?
Yeah, so me, Felix, and Marissa, we were in Lada, we were on one team discussing. But since 5 times were too short for us, like, to really discuss about each other's skills, we were mentioning that, like, I mentioned first that since I'm still in university and I didn't have an experience in workplace yet.
Go ahead, no work experience, but you have obviously good connections with other people. They're talking.
Sorry,
Continue.
I got delivery for a package right now. I'm really sorry, Professor. So, Felix, could you continue what I was answering, please?
Yeah, you said in the group that you're when you're working with Koreans that you always have to, because you're the oldest, that you always have to face yourself, who you are, and make plans. Then Marissa said a little bit about herself. Maybe Marissa, can you say something more about Mr. Kim? Or did I mention everything?
Yeah, I think Mr. Kim, she also mentioned that when she works with other students, because she's the older one, that she also has like more experience in working with people, like also when it comes to work life, that she's always the one that takes the lead because yeah, as I already mentioned, she knows how to deal with people like that, and that's what she like highlighted about herself, that she has a good leadership skill in that way.
I love this. So Felix is saying good things about Min-Soo Kim, and Marissa is saying good things about Min-Soo Kim. I heard that other people said you have good work experience, but I also heard Marissa Kim say she has no work experience. So
no, she has a work experience. She works in a bakery. So
at least you're starting to identify some of your skills and you're introducing details.
So what I meant, I don't have working experience in like a actual company. Only like the work that I was talking about was like in university work, like for presentations and projects and paper, which is when I try to be a little bit more proactive depending on the group members, because sometimes I feel the need to take the lead because the other members are not doing anything, like in other classes in previous experience. Because sometimes, as you mentioned before, the Korea, it's really hierarchical like society. So they try to wait for the older person, like the older person, the senior, to talk So as I'm the senior and I am a little bit older than the other students, they feel like afraid to speak up. That's what I feel sometimes. That's when I try to be proactive.
Yeah,
Good.
sorry, I explained myself a bit confusing.
That's okay. I love this. The fact that you guys are trying, it's good. So now, let's go back. Your first group leader that started talking, I believe, was Lada. Is that right? Ladi?
Yes.
So Lada or Ladi, can you tell me now, once again, how many points do you think I should give to Anarov's team and Kyunggon Jung's team? Stress.
1/2.
So it should be very easy for students to get half a point just for saying anything in class. And if you have a significant contribution, you get 1 point. If you also try to teach an article or a video or contribute to the class, you can get more than just the basic attendance points. You can get bonus points, maybe another half a point. So 1.5, or maybe under exceptional circumstances, I'll give you 2 points for contributing in class. So how many points do you think I should give Anarov because he was the first one in class to start talking? He didn't really mention skills. He didn't really mention HR very much. We know because he's the first speaker that he's proactive and he can talk well. What do you think? How many points for their team?
They has a good skill on talking. So I also prefer half or half point.
Half point.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, Ladi or Lada, how do I say your name correctly?
You can call me Da for short, but my real name is Lada.
Lada. Okay. Can you pick somebody else in your group? Tell me one other person's name.
Felix.
Felix, can you tell me now how many points I should give to Kyunggon Jung's team?
If I had to guess, I would say all of them.
So
all
yeah,
the points.
All the
points.
So what is the all the point? What do you think?
Like they're just for me that's sympathetic. So I think it's very difficult to get 5 minutes in contact with so much people that you don't met before. So I would say the 100%.
Okay, how many points is that? Is that 0.5, 1 point? What do you think? What is
3.4.8?
4.8 points. Okay. Yeah. Everybody in Kyunggon Jung's team, congratulations. Wow. I'm going to give you 4.8 points just for being active in today's group, introducing your skills and having your team leader, your team talker, promoting your skills to the rest of the class today. Based on that, I think I should also give Mr. Anarov, we hear that I should give you 0.5 points, but I'm going to give you all 1.5 points just for talking first in class. So I'm taking the number of points proposed and I'm being extra generous with your grade. I'm tripling the grade that you're getting. I can't increase Felix's grade. He's already more than the top. And I think I should also give a couple more points to Lada's team. Can somebody else in the class introduce skills of your team members. Some other group member, put your hand up and introduce your team. I don't see a hand up yet. Anybody see a hand up? I'm waiting for another classmate to identify skills of another class member or something that might impress the rest of the class or our executives and visiting professors we might meet on September 10th. Does anybody
Professor?
know your, yes, if you're going to be talking, please put your hand up, the icon for your hand, so I know who's talking. Yes.
Sorry for interrupting, but I have another class in 10:30.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Sorry.
We have
Can I
limited
leave
time.
this room?
You're absolutely right. So thank you very much for that.
Thank
Please make
Okay.
sure that you know, everybody in class, we should be sharing your group project information. Share it with the rest of the class, put a link in the Excel file, send it, email it to us, and we will be in touch soon. So thank you very much, class. Our class is 20 minutes over.
One moment,
I
please.
will say in
Just
the chat, every other student, you can leave. The class is definitely over. I apologize for talking too much. I love the class topic. I'm going to keep sticking around and talking for a little bit, but you can leave class and go to your other classes now. Thank you. Julian, you had a comment to say?
Thank you, Professor.
Yes, if you don't mind, just before 1 minute before leaving. So tomorrow we have that meeting with the executives from Samsung, and we are expecting also some teachers from Denmark. So you should we will send an email introducing this to you. But the point is, you should prepare some questions to be addressing to them. So we don't want just to stare to the screen to each other, but just research a little bit regarding their background, research a little bit what projects are they in, and you just prepare and prepare some questions to put to them, to make them, okay?
Okay.
So remember this. We will send an email, but remember that you have a task to make questions and to raise questions to them tomorrow. Thank you very
I
much.
will give you their LinkedIn profiles so you can check their background on LinkedIn. So whoever has the smartest questions will also get bonus points during our meeting with the other visiting professors and executives. Try to promote yourselves with smart questions that show something about your abilities, your skills to impress